Hi, in this video we're going to talk about how to use EFT tapping to help you achieve and manifest your greatest life goals. My name is Stefan Gonick. I'm an expert EFT practitioner, trainer, and soulmate attraction mentor from EFTalive.com. Now, life is all about achieving goals, and some of them come easily to us, and then other ones we tend to feel very stuck, very blocked. We may be so stuck that we have a hard time even getting started on the goal, or we may get started and just kind of peter out. We may get really far along and then stop short of the end. Or we might find ourselves sort of sabotaging ourselves as we're doing some of the important steps towards achieving the goal. So clearly there's some kind of block that is interfering with us being able to achieve the goal. And that's where EFT can come in to really help clear those blocks so that there's just smooth sailing and nothing between you and getting what it is that you're wanting. So the question is, how do we do that? Well, the first step is to uncover what some of these emotional blocks are. So I'm going to teach you a process for doing that. And then the second step is then using EFT to actually clear out those blocks. So one of the most direct ways to get in touch with the underlying emotional stuff, shall we say, that's interfering with you achieving your goal is to kind of imagine that you are faced with the goal and then see what comes up inside of you. So I'll give you some examples. Let's say your goal is to meet your soulmate, right? Let's say you're single, you want to meet your soulmate. So one of the ways you do that is to imagine everything you're looking for in your ideal partner, and then close your eyes and imagine that somebody with all those things you're looking for is standing right in front of you and smiling at you, right? So you're being faced with your goal. And then just start noticing what you're feeling inside. And what you're going to tend to feel inside is a mixture of fears and limiting beliefs. The things that stop us from achieving our goals come down to basically those two big categories. There's a third option, but that's too complicated for this video. So what I'm going to do is just stick to those two categories of blocks. Things that we're afraid of as we're trying to approach, do what we need to do to achieve the goal. And then limiting beliefs about ourselves and the world and things like that cause us to hold back. So I give an example with trying to meet your soulmate. Let's say, for instance, though, that there's this new business you'd like to start, right? Maybe you're an employee somewhere and you want to start your own business, but you feel blocked. So what you do is you imagine yourself, think of the steps it's going to take to do the business, and then you just imagine yourself doing those things, taking those steps, right? And then again, just feel inside, what are your negative reactions, right? There may be some positive reactions like sense of excitement, but you're also, if you're blocked, if you're not able to do this, then you're going to have some negative ones too. So you're going to have, again, a list of fears and a list of negative or limiting beliefs, right? So whatever your goal is, you sort of imagine yourself doing that goal, right? You're in the process of doing it. In the case of the business example, if there's multiple steps, you can actually imagine each step. Because it may be that certain of the steps, you don't have a negative reaction to those, but there's certain key steps in the process that all of a sudden you have this big reaction. So that actually helps kind of focus in on where the block is more specifically. So if a goal has multiple steps, think about, kind of do this process with each step one by one and see which ones you have a negative reaction to. In the case of the soulmate one, it's kind of like, there he or she is, so it's kind of like it's meeting the person. So there's not too many steps involved. And then just, again, see what your reactions are. So what you're going to do then is write these all down. So you're going to have a bunch of different fears. So I'll give you an example of the soulmate one. One of the fears might be, I'm afraid that, as I see this person that's my ideal partner, one of the fears that comes up for me is, I'm afraid I'll get hurt in the same way I did as in my last relationship, right? Let's say I had a really painful past relationship, so I'm afraid that will happen again. I'll get hurt in the same way. Or you might have a limiting belief of, well, that person is so wonderful, what could he or she see in me? Like, I'm not good enough for that person. So that's a limiting belief. So you can see how if you have, and the same could be true for a business. You imagine this business that you're trying to set up and start, which when we do a business, it involves not just creating a product or service, but we also kind of involves putting ourselves out there and, feelings of I'm not good enough for that kind of thing, or nobody's going to be interested in what I have to offer, things like that. So you get these negative beliefs and fears. Sometimes the same thing can be both a fear and a negative belief. Like, I'm afraid nobody will be interested in what I have to offer, and deep down I kind of also just feel like, nobody's going to be interested in what I have to offer. So what you do is, like I said, you write them all down. So I have a list of fears, and I have a list of limiting or negative beliefs. Then I want to go back through, and I want to rate each one on a scale of 0 to 10 as to how strong it is, right? So if I have a whole list of fears, some of them may be mild, some of them may be medium, some of them may be super intense, right? So I want to rate them all on a scale of 0 to 10, and then put them in, the highest to the lowest order, right? So if I have some 10 out of 10 fears, I want to put them at the top, and then, then the 9s and the 8s, 7s, that kind of thing. Now, for the limiting beliefs, what we're measuring is not the intensity of the emotion. We're measuring how true it feels in our gut. This is really important because we all have two sides to us. We have our sort of conscious, aware, enlightened side, and then we have what you can think of as our kind of wounded, inner child, subconscious gut side. Okay, now our enlightened side often knows the truth. So for instance, I'm not worthy, right, of this soulmate person, this amazing person, or I'm not worthy of this business, something like that. Your mind might go, well, no, of course I'm worthy. Why would I be worthy? Of course I'm worthy. But there's this more deep gut feeling that I'm not worthy. Doesn't make sense, it's not logical, but our gut feeling, unfortunately, is what really rules us. That's why there's a block, right? Now, when you're measuring how true it feels in your gut, you want to make sure that you let go of your mental conscious awareness and don't consider that part. Because let's say, for instance, feeling not worthy, my true gut feeling of unworthiness is super high. Let's just say even it's a 10. But my mind goes, not worthy, that's not true. So my mind would go 0, right? It's totally not true that I'm not worthy. Now, what some people tend to do without realizing is they'll mix the two. So it becomes like a 5, right? It's like I have a 0 on one side of me and a 10 on the other. And I'm going to feel it, I go, oh, it's about a 5. You want to separate your mental awareness and just feel that gut feeling by itself. So you get a really accurate idea as to what your subconscious, internal, belief is around this. And then write down that number. And again, put the highest numbers on top, lowest on the bottom. Now, the really cool thing is that we don't have to heal the whole list, right? We don't have to heal the ones that are relatively mild, because they might feel a little uncomfortable, but they're not really holding you back, right? The ones that are holding you back are the really high ones. Anything 8, 9, or 10 is so big that that's going to block you. It's going to make it impossible to do it, to achieve your goal. 7's really, really hard. 4 to 6, kind of medium hard. And then once you get down to the low numbers, it's like, it's not that, it's a little uncomfortable. It doesn't really hold me back. It doesn't stop me. So you definitely want to address anything that's a 7 to 10 for sure. And that may be enough. And if that's not quite enough, you might want to address some of the 6s and 5s too. But once you get below 5, you don't have to worry about it too much anymore. So then the question is, how do we actually, now that we have our list of fears and our list of negative beliefs, how do we clear them out, right? So it's kind of similar to both, and there's a simple way and then a deeper way. Now the simple way is to tap on the fear itself, right? So the example I gave you, this says a woman who has really painful last relationship where her partner did this particularly painful thing that hurt her, and she's afraid that she'll get hurt in that same way again, right? And I don't want to be too specific about that, but just imagine there's some specific way that she got hurt. So what you would do is the simple way is just to tap on that fear. So even though I'm afraid of being hurt in the such and such a way again, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself 3 times, right? You say it there on your cry chop point, side of your hand. And then you just keep repeating the fear statement by itself. Afraid I'll get hurt in that way. And I'm saying that way. You would actually be more specific in your tapping phrase, but I'm afraid of getting hurt in that way again. I'm afraid of getting hurt in that way again. Da, 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 da. And you would just keep doing round after round. And after every couple of rounds, you would check back in. How intense is the fear now? All right, so let's say it was a 10 initially. Do a few rounds of tapping. Now it's an 8. Do a few rounds, and now it's a 5. Do a few rounds. And just keep going down until you get to 0. Ta-da! Sometimes that's all it takes. It can be as simple as that, and that can be really cool. Now, for a limiting belief, amazingly, you can do the same thing, right? So this thing, okay, I'm not worthy, or nobody, let's say nobody would be interested in what I have to offer. So that becomes the tapping phrase. Even though nobody would be interested in what I have to offer. So remember, EFT is about releasing the negative. So we are going to always use negative statements to bring up the energy disturbance in our system and then clear it out through tapping. So that's how you clear a negative belief, is just simply that way. So even though nobody will be interested in what I have to offer, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. On the karate chop point, side of your hand. Even though nobody will be interested in what I have to offer, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. So you do that 3 times. Beep, pow, 3. All right, and then you just do the negative belief by itself at every tapping point. Nobody will be interested in what I have to offer. Nobody will be interested in what I have to offer. Nobody will be interested in what I have to offer. Through all the points, a full round, a second round, and then check your gut feeling of how true it feels after a couple of rounds. Okay, maybe initially it was a 10 out of 10, right? Do a few rounds, now it's maybe 7 or 8. Do a few more rounds, now it's a 5. Do a few more rounds. Just keep going until you get to 0. And sometimes, again, that's all it takes. But what you're actually going to find as you go through your list is that some of the fears and some of the negative limiting beliefs will clear that way, and then some of them won't. Either they'll come down part way and then just stop. You can't seem to get it down anymore. Maybe it starts at a 10 and gets to a 7 and won't go below a 7. Or maybe it won't come down at all. You do a bunch of tapping, many rounds, and it just stays at whatever its starting number was. So in that case, you have to take the deeper approach. So the deeper approach is to look for the experiences that created that fear, caused that fear, or created that negative belief. So in the example of the woman, it was kind of obvious what created it, right? She had this really bad experience in her last relationship. So what she would need to do to clear out that fear of it happening again is to tap on the pain of that original experience with her ex. Okay? So you have to tap on the memory or memories of him doing that. You know, whatever it is that he did that was so painful, until there's no more pain associated with it anymore. And then amazingly, when you do that, the fear goes away. Even though, sure, it's still possible that could happen again, once you've released all the pain from the original experience, the fear goes away, even though theoretically, even though it is possible it could happen again. Same with the negative beliefs. You need to identify the experiences that created that negative belief in you. Now, it may be an adult experience, or it may be a childhood experience. More often, it's actually going to be a childhood experience. So then you need to identify what those experiences are. So let's say, I'm afraid nobody would be interested in what I have to offer in my business. I would think, okay, what does that remind me of childhood? In my childhood, what does that remind me of? This is one of the simplest questions to ask, to start to try and get in touch with, the root cause experiences or memories that created that negative belief. There's other ways to do it too, but there's only so much I can talk about in this one video. But the goal in this deeper approach is to look for the formative, causative experiences that created the fear or created the negative belief, and then you heal that experience, and then you'll find that the fear will go away, the negative belief will shift. Now, in the case of a negative belief, it's not always quite as simple as with a fear. If you heal the original experience, the fear should go away. With the negative belief, you may discover after you heal the causative experiences that the negative belief has now gone to 0. It doesn't feel true anymore. Or it may still be there, but there's nothing holding it there anymore. It's still there, but it's not, we've healed the original experiences that cause a negative belief. So now if I tap on the negative belief by itself, and using the simple method, now it'll come down really easily. So I hope that makes sense, right? So with beliefs, for some reason, it can be a little bit more complicated, but not that much, right? Lots of times, the negative belief will have gone to 0 once you heal the original root cause experiences, memories. Sometimes it'll come down part way, or sometimes it won't come down, but if you then tap on it, it'll come down the rest of the way or all the way really easily. Like I said, there's nothing holding it, sort of locking it in your system anymore. So If you go through and clear all the fears, or at least all the main ones, all the limiting beliefs, then bam, right? Then you can test yourself. Actually, is the best next thing to do is, okay, now imagine doing the steps you need to take to, do this business thing, or imagine meeting your ideal partner again, and just double check. Does it now just feel good? Like now when I imagine this meeting my ideal partner, now it just feels like, I feel excited and great and wonderful and really looking forward to getting to know the person. Or same with the business, like, yay, I feel enthusiastic now and excited. Or you may discover that you missed a few the first time you did this, right? Sometimes you don't get them all when you first try and do it. So you just imagine the scenario again, say, okay, now, are there any other new fears or negative beliefs that come up? And if there are, you just do the same thing again, write them down, rate them 0 to 10, and then clear them one by one using tapping. All right? Go through this enough, there should be nothing in your way to just, going full steam ahead to achieve your goals. So, hopefully this has been helpful. If it has, it would really help me and other people to find this video if you click on the like button. You're welcome to subscribe to my channel to get more useful videos like this. Also, I have a free newsletter on my website at eftalive.com. What it says on my website is have a free ebook, How to Change Negative Beliefs. Actually, we talked a bit about it here, using EFT. But then there's a whole series of newsletters that have very practical ways of using EFT to enhance your life in a lot of different situations. Like for instance, using EFT for insomnia, or using EFT for a negative body image, or there's lots of different kinds of things. So, I invite you to sign up for that, or just check out whatever else I have on my eftalive.com website. So keep tapping, and I'll see you on the next one.